they seem to be indicating that they can move on from Zeke a lot easier than they can from Dak.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just caution everybody not to overreact to Todd Gurley's injury and the way he performed in the playoffs this past season. Running backs have been devalued. Now it seems like they're being devalued even more. I think it would be a bit of a mistake to prioritize Dak over Zeke.
Well, I think we're having two conversations, one in the now and one 2 years from now when this decision has to be made. But once again, Stephen Jones is keeping perspective, and he's keeping the position and the value of the position in mind. I'm with Stephen Jones. I'm with whatever we're starting to feel of the choice of quarterback over running back, no matter how great the running back is. That's just how the game's played. As you said, the running back's devalued. But don't take me on my own words. Let's just look at last year in the top 10 rushers in the NFL. You know how many of those guys even made the playoffs of the top 10? Only 3. Then you can say, oh, that was just an anomaly 1 year. No, let's look all-time, NFL all-time rushing leaders. The top 10, how many of those guys actually turned those yardage and performances and touchdowns into championships? Less than half. 4 of the top 10 rushers forever, all time. My point is, if you just study the game, and from even being on the field, it's just easier. I'm not saying easier to find a stud at running back than it is to find a stud at quarterback. When you got somebody who looks like they could play the part at quarterback, you got to marry him.
This to me is pretty simple. It's never easy. It is simple type of thing. and the reason it's simple is because you're talking about long money over short money. Paying a running back is short money. The shelf life is proven to be short. The guys get beat up. They don't last very long. And I think today's game, the way they protect the quarterback, the way they create every rule for the quarterback to be successful, the long money is at quarterback. And I will tell you this, it's always better, always in this league, to be proactive when it comes to paying guys. If you find and target a guy that you think can be that, then you have to be proactive in targeting that guy. And I will say this, the quarterback position now, where you used to walk in and start hitting your prime at about 27, you're in your 30s before you start hitting your prime.
Yes.
So the length of that deal for a quarterback, I mean, we see Roethlisberger just re-signed. Rivers is going to re-sign. He's 37, right? We see
Aaron
Breeze.
Rodgers.
We see Breeze playing into his 40s. We see
names, all these guys you're rattling off.
Yeah.
I haven't heard you say Dak yet, but go ahead.
Well, Dak, but my point is Dak hasn't even hit his prime yet. He hasn't hit his quarterbacking prime.
What's it going to look like is the question. Is it going to look like anything like those quarterbacks you just rattled off? And again, I don't want to beat up Dak, but I thought we had all agreed upon Dak. You can't spell Dak without Zeke. There's nothing. If you don't add a Zeke to Dak, what do you really have?
Yeah, but we saw that before, rookie year. I mean, it was their first year together, so it's a tough example. But that was a one-and-done season in the postseason. Like, you got great Zeke, and you got good Dak, and you got one-and-done in the playoffs. So you got to start making...
Not Zeke's fault. But
no, but last year, okay, I hate to do this. Now I'm going to sound like I'm beating up on Zeke. Y'all saw that Rams game, anybody? Ezekiel, Elliott, 47 yards. Stud. Like, just think about it. I could get a 6-rounder to go out there and just give me a cloud of dust at 47 yards. And they didn't lose that game because of Dak. Dak played well enough for them to win that game. So it's a tough decision. We're splitting hairs. I would love them to be in a position where they can keep both of these young talents together. But if they have to make a choice, it's just by position.
Dak was actually really good in that playoff game against Green Bay. He just went up against Aaron Rodgers, who happened to be one of the best that's ever played the game, and Aaron Rodgers made a play late in that game to the tight end on the sideline that was not of this world. That was an alien throw, right? I mean, and that's what ended up beating Dak. Otherwise, they go deeper into the playoffs. So I'm with you. Ezekiel Elliott right now is a better player.
Yeah.
But if you're projecting, which you have to do, who's got the better ceiling based on health, based on age, based on the position you play and the longevity of that position? If you're a franchise, you're saying, if I'm going to invest, I'm investing in the quarterback.
I know I'm thinking of a really old school brand of football in an era that's long gone by, but again, I saw the Cowboys make this decision previously, 20-some-odd years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they could do it without Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
And Emmett sat down, and they couldn't do it without it because Troy Aikman, tremendous quarterback. Not Elway, not Marino. He needed Emmitt Smith. Dak Prescott isn't even Troy Aikman because Troy Aikman is very accurate with the ball. Dak's accuracy goes up and down. If he doesn't have that running back to flip the ball out of the backfield to, and they can sit there and draft Tony Pollard and call him Alvin Kamara if they want to, I got to see it before I believe it.
Well, respect to that era, but things have changed, as you even made mention of. The protection of the quarterback's different, and even the running back, which now the long handoff is the short pass. And you can see New England and teams are doing this now where maybe we can go out there with just any running back, and as long as we have our passing game intact, then we have something there. So I just think the era changed, the rules changes. Everything has kind of made it a little better for the quarterback to go out there and succeed, and he will.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is when you're playing this game, you have to be proactive in your decision making. And it's better to pay guys early than late, and it's better to release guys early than late. Like we've seen it with New England all the time, right? They'll just release a dude. 2 years left, they'll trade him, they'll release him, whatever, and you're like, man, that guy's a really good player. And ultimately, they make the decision early and they move on, and it probably is the best way to do it, especially when you're talking quarterback.
And there's one layer we didn't talk about, the professionalism. And look, if you're around the Cowboys facility every day, Dak wins the Ambassador Award over Zeke. Obviously, his issues before. And look, funny or not, on social media, there's pictures of Zeke in off-season every single year. Recently, we saw
having a good time.
He's living. He's living. That boy out there eating. And look, he may weigh the same, but, body fat composition may be a little different. We'll just see.